Today, we received some critical information as one of the first steps towards Terra Luna Classic potentially hitting $1. This is something that you really don't want to miss out on. Earlier today, MEXC hosted a Twitter space with both Vegas, very well known within the community, as well as Edward Kim, two well-known figures within the Terra Luna Classic community, and they talked a lot about the future of Terra Luna Classic and how MEXC is actually going to help us push forward with our goals as a community. As a lot of you probably already know, MEXC has been running this limited time event from the 3rd through the 17th where they're going to be implementing a 1.2% tax. Now, this is really great and has been going on for a couple days, and I'm going to show you some numbers about that here in a second. However, I think it's really important to emphasize they did not have to do this, right? This is them doing this on their own to support the community, and I think this is a great step forward of them showing a sign of support. And let's talk now about some of those numbers of what actually came out of this burn event so far. I say I put together a nice little chart for us to be able to see of the burn amount and the burn date. So every amount that's being burned every single day, these add up to roughly over 300 million Terra Luna Classic that has been burned through MEXC. And so overall, this has been a really amazing event where they burned a lot of Terra Luna Classic and they really have been helping the community on their own. It's not like they had to do this right now. The official 1.2% burn is not even active yet. But I really want to highlight something, and this is where I need you guys to actually take action so we can help the community together, right? So if we hop back over to this announcement, there's something that people miss, and that got specified in that Twitter space that they hosted earlier today with Vegas and Edward Kim, right? So if we go back over here, here is the critical line that so many people have been overlooking. Once the proposal is officially approved and implemented, we will decide whether to extend the event based on feedback from MEXC users. This is really important because what they're saying right here is that they want our feedback. They want to know, did we enjoy this event? Do we want this to be extended? This could potentially become something that stays forever, and there's always a 1.2% burn. Stop right there. The vast majority of you are not subscribed and don't have your notification bells turned on. Do that right now so you don't miss another video just like this. So why do we need to let them know that we want this to continue when the 1.2% burn tax is going to happen, right? Like, they won't have a choice, right? That's probably what you're thinking. However, in reality, a lot of these exchanges don't operate on the blockchain. And so what happens is when you send money to or from the exchange, it actually goes through the blockchain. And so there would be a 1.2% tax. However, their trading that happens on their platform is all in their software. It's not actually on the exchange. And that's really important because they're, with MEXC in particular, they're implementing the 1.2% fee for this limited time event. Remember, this is only running here for a couple days right now, and that's why we need to let them know we want this extended. But they're actually including this in the spot trading fees, as you guys can see right down here. Now, that's really important because a lot of other exchanges are not talking about doing that yet. And so what happens is when we go back over here and we look at Terra Luna Classic volume, right? And we look at these volume numbers, this amount would not be impacted by the 1.2% fee. And I just want to highlight that and emphasize that real quick because Binance, for example, a lot of people, including myself, has taken numbers and said, hey, based on the 1.2% fee, if you're able to burn 1.2% of this volume number, we're going to burn X dollars, right? And we've taken the total volume number from all these exchanges and done math like that. The problem, however, is somewhere like Binance as a great example because they're the biggest exchange trading Terra Luna Classic, obviously. With Binance as an example, when you go ahead and do a trade on Binance, it doesn't actually go through the blockchain. It goes through their software. And Binance has said that they're going to use the 1.2% tax for withdrawals and deposits, right? Well, they don't have a choice. That's on the blockchain. That's interacting with the blockchain. It's going to happen. They don't have a choice. Where these exchanges do have a choice and where we need to let them know that we want this is when it comes to their actual trading. They don't have to have a 1.2% fee on their actual transactions that happen on this blockchain. So in this example, $780 million of daily volume could end up not getting any 1.2% tax. That's obviously not a great situation at all. And if we look for MEXC, because of course they are willing to do this, and this is, I think, a great example, we can see that they're down here 12th position, right? They're nowhere high up on the list. And if I actually move myself here real quick, we'll be able to see that based on where they are with their volume numbers, we're looking at roughly $10 million of daily volume. That's a drop in the bucket in the grand scheme of things, especially when we're looking at over $1 billion of daily volume. And so this is a very small exchange. It's not going to make or break the situation for us in the future. However, I believe that this is the first step forward because this really could be a leading example for other exchanges. And what I mean by that is if we let our voices be known, both on Twitter, on YouTube, and also with our wallets, then these other exchanges will be forced to follow in their steps, right? KuCoin, Binance up here, KuCoin, Gate.io, a lot of these big exchanges that have tons of volume. we end up moving our money and we stop trading on those exchanges, Binance, KuCoin, Gate.io. We start trading on MEXC instead. Let's say their volume explodes in the sense that it goes up to $100 million of volume on MEXC. All these other exchanges, they're going to see that and they're going to go, hey, why is this exploding? What's going on? Oh, MEXC is supporting the community and doing what the community wants, and we're not, right, from a Binance perspective. Maybe we should change that because we don't want our volume numbers to drop. We want our little tiny percentage fees on the volume that happens on our exchanges. We want people to use our exchange. And so that's going to inevitably force Binance, KuCoin, Gate.io, a lot of these other exchanges to end up implementing this 1.2% fee because this is really what the community wants. And so right now, it's really important for us to provide the feedback to MEXC. We can let them know, hey, we are users. We want to see this happen. We will move our volume over to your exchange if you end up keeping this 1.2% fee for all trading volume. And then if we do implement that and we do get that to be pushed forward, we need to actually follow through. We need to actually use MEXC. We need to prioritize this exchange over the other ones. Because again, if we don't do that, why would Binance change? Why would Binance implement a 1.2% fee? It's going to cost them money to set that up in their system. Why would they do that? If there is no risk, right? But if we end up making Binance go down to, let's say, $500 million of daily volume, so they lose a good chunk of their daily volume, then instead that would definitely incentivize Binance, right? We can drop this number and incentivize Binance to follow along with what our community wants are. And then when Binance does that, great. We leave KuCoin and we abandon KuCoin. Let's say KuCoin doesn't follow through and Gate.io doesn't follow through. We leave those, we go to Binance and we go to MEXC. Then those other exchanges are going to go, hey, wait a second, these other two are doing really good. And inevitably, it's going to be a snowball effect where all these exchanges will support us, and that'll allow us to burn 99% of the total supply eventually, right? It's going to take a long time for us to do that, but eventually we could actually potentially hit those kind of numbers. And at that point, we could see prices as high as $1. We could see those insane goals that we have for as a community. So I would encourage all of you to take to Twitter, take to whatever platform you have, and let these exchanges know. We want to see this 1.2% burn. We're willing to actually move our volume over to your platform. We're willing to support you if you support us. And hopefully out of doing that, if we can get thousands of people to do that, this will actually cause these exchanges to change what they're doing and fall in line with what the community really wants. And we can make those voices heard. So if you guys want to support MEXC, be sure to check out the link in the description down below, set up an account, show support, let them know what you want to see happen. And hopefully they will be a leading example as we move forward for the community as to what we actually want.